Please keep your high propensity to trust. Try to trust other people because they will respond. And you know what it feels like when someone trusts you. You really want to show them they are right. My name is Kaj Torok. My job is to make sustainable development so desirable it becomes normal. Sustainable development is not hindering other people from meeting their needs. The Scandinavian countries, including Sweden, have high trust levels. We have around 2 out of 3 Swedes trust people in general when we ask them. And in UK and in the United States, approximately 1 out of 3 trust people in general. I think that even in UK, for example, you have pretty high trust levels in small societies, like on the countryside, where people know each other. So when you get to know someone, it's easier to trust. And I think Sweden comes from a situation where people have lived in pretty small areas together, so they have gotten the chance to trust each other. In Sweden we have a pretty individual society, so we have quite a lot of individuals, not so strong families, and then we have the society. So I think individuals connect more with society, and that probably makes us make our solidarity go with the society instead of with the family. We need to expand trust so that it becomes for everyone, and in that sense I think equality will be extremely important, because as long as there are huge differences, we will feel mistreated.
I guess the question would be, if trust levels are fairly low, then how do you start trying to rebuild them, and is it actually possible to do so?
You can do that in a systematic way. Then you have to know what are the reasons for low trust. So you have barriers probably. It's about intentions, what you want, what kind of values do you have, and not least, how do you see other people? Do you see them as equal or not equal? Having these 2 character principles, integrity and intentions in place, that allows us to interact with it in another way. But then we have also some 2 situational principles. What kind of competence do we have, and what about the last principle, which is results, so that we're not always the eternal student. Trust does not start with someone else, it starts with ourselves. So how do we start creating these interactions? I would focus on that. What is fairly unique with Sweden is that the trust in authorities and government, these kind of institutions, have remained high. We get a lot of help from the government, so we actually know that it works. We've seen it with our own eyes. In short, we trust our institutions, we have extremely low corruption, and we have a big society in another way probably than you have, that the government takes care of its inhabitants quite a lot. Sweden has had a long tradition of what we call jantelagen, or the situation where you shouldn't think of yourself as more worthy than any other. And Swedes often interpret this in a way that you shouldn't think that much of yourself. But actually the opposite part of it is that, no, you shouldn't think that anyone is above you or below you. That's the part of it. And that's a strong cultural value.
As immigration gets higher in Sweden, do you think trust becomes more difficult?
I think that when you mix people with different expectations about what kind of social culture you have, that could create tensions. My father is from Hungary, so he was an immigrant. He got a job 3 weeks after he got here in 1956. If you come as an immigrant today and you have to wait a couple of years before you get a job, or you don't get it at all, it's going to be much harder to be part of the society and to contribute to it.
Why is it a benefit for a society to have high levels of trust?
Yeah. Without trust, the strongest government will crumble. The most phenomenal leadership will cease to exist. The deepest friendship the greatest love, all of those will be obliterated without trust. With high trust, you don't need all the lawyers, you don't need all the bureaucracy, you don't need to lock your door at home. You can do things fast and easy, and you can have a fulfilling life.